Hi, welcome back to my channel, Stitch and Style by me, Nadia, and today I'm doing a Friday sews. And for the first time in what seems like forever, I'm actually filming on Friday. Hopefully I'll be able to get this vlog uploaded and with you today. But before I get started on where I'm up to now, let me just insert a clip of where I was on Wednesday, and it kind of gives you some of my plans for SewUpcycle22. Just a quick note on what I'm wearing. This is the plantain tee by Deer and Doe in a plain viscose jersey. I'll just stand up and show you. It's nice and kind of drapey. I've just got it tucked into my jeans, and I'm wearing a ready to wear cardigan. So that's my outfit today. I wanted to just share with you, before I started cutting into it, the duvet cover that I'm using for the Sew Upcycle Challenge 2022. So it's here, and it's just a plain white, and this is 100% cotton, and it's a huge duvet because it's Super King. So this isn't a new duvet, it is clean, I promise, but it's not brand new quality because I have used it before. I find this one, even though it's 100% cotton, a little bit heavy, and it was bought as a spare and not our main duvet cover. So we have used it a few times, but not a lot. So it contains quite a lot of this just plain white cotton material. That's the back, and then on the front it's got this pink, and you can see there that it's got this nice, like it's been dyed, so that isn't a seam line, that's just the design, the pattern design. So, and I quite like the pink. And then on the other side it's got this mustardy colour. Now I'm not keen on wearing this mustardy colour, so I don't think I will be using this for any garment that I make. I do plan maybe to use a bit of the pink and the white together on a garment, and that might make a nice feature design. But the first thing I'm going to make with this is a shirt just in the plain white. I'm really keen to practice making a shirt. The pattern I've chosen is the Cameron Button Up by Helen's Closet. It's a gender inclusive pattern that comes in sizes, I think 0 to 32. I will put the measurements down below now, and because it's gender inclusive I can make it for me and my husband. So my husband is really keen for me to make him a shirt. Now I make all his t-shirts, and he's really spoilt because he likes the length that I make the t-shirts for him. So he has got a couple of shirts that fit him okay, but they're just slightly shorter than the t-shirts that I make for him. So he's really keen for me to make him a shirt that's as long as his t-shirts. So I'm making it. He's actually downstairs. I hope he's not listening. I am actually planning on making him a shirt as a surprise for our wedding anniversary. So it's a little bit of a secret mission to make him a shirt, and I've got this fabric and I've not shared it with him. This is the fabric that I've got to make a shirt for him. This is, I think it's a poly cotton. I picked it up from Leon's Fabrics when I went to get the fabric for my dress. And I saw this and I thought, yes, he loves red. He's a Liverpool fan. So I'm just sharing that fabric that I got for my husband's shirt, because when I've printed out the pattern, the paper pattern, stuck all the pieces together, and then I cut out the, well, I was supposed to do the size 26, but then I actually got mixed up on the lines and ended up cutting out a size 24, which I hope is going to be big enough for him. So I've cut out the size 24 and I've graded it slightly at the hips to come in, because he's narrower at the hip than his stomach and his chest. So I did that. Then I traced out the size 24 at the top and size 20 at the bottom for him, and I've traced out the size 14 for me. On his pattern pieces, I've done a broad shoulder adjustment by about an inch. Well, actually it was 3 centimetres. I also lengthened the arm side between here and here, just to give him a little bit extra room for his shoulders. So I actually lengthened my husband's t-shirt by 8 inches, 20 centimetres. And I also lengthened the sleeves. Now I've only traced out the short sleeve pattern because he won't want a long sleeve shirt. So yeah, I've traced out that for him. So I made the adjustments and I've compared it to a shirt that he already owns and the t-shirt pattern that I've made for him, just to check whether it will kind of fit. Obviously, because it's a secret, I don't want to start measuring him and start putting the pattern pieces up against him, because he's going to get a pretty good idea of what I'm doing. And then with my pattern, I actually think I might do a sway back adjustment. I've not thought about that until I'm just talking about the adjustments that I made to my husband's, but that might be a good shout. And I've also not done a small bust adjustment on mine because it's gender inclusive. So I'm presuming, I don't think there's any bust starts or anything. So I'm hopeful that it's going to just fit me okay. If it's a little bit oversized, I don't mind that at all. But what I did on mine, and I'll just get the pattern piece, I've lengthened the sleeve, and that's by 2.5 centimetres or an inch. So just guesswork. If it's a little bit long, I can always shorten it a little bit. And then I've lengthened the pattern by 4.5 centimetres. Again, I'm not sure I'll need all that. What I'll do is, again, it's 4.5 centimetres I've added to the length there. That's using the lengthen and shorten line provided by Helen's Closet. And I'm probably going to take out 2 or 2.5 centimetres at the centre back. So what I'll do is I'll just cut along there, take it out on this side. So you reduce the length here by 2.5, and I'll keep the length there at the side seam, and then I'll just true up this line here so you can continue to cut it on the fold. So this is, hopefully it's going to be wearable. If it's just in a plain white shirt, I think that can look really smart for the office and casual. I have quite a few plain white shirts that I really enjoy wearing. I'm a little bit nervous about the collar because I've not done a collar before, and I've not done the cuff and like a little cuff placket, I think you call it that, before. So this is all new to me. I'm just going to have to say thank you to you because not only did you make me, when I was talking earlier, realise that I need a sway back adjustment. When I did the sway back adjustment and was truing up the side, I noticed that this bottom piece had been attached the wrong way round. So you've got this lovely curve on the shirt pattern, which goes up at the side seam, and that's the armhole. My battery died, so I'm back now. So as I was saying, yeah, it's got this lovely curve, and that obviously goes up at the side where the armhole was, but I'd attached this the wrong side, so the curve up was at the centre front, and I only noticed because of these fold lines were on the other side, and I was thinking that's not making much sense. So I've caught another potential mistake before it actually happened, which is good, but I don't know why I keep making these mistakes. I'm going to have to be a little bit more careful. I think maybe I've been quite tired, so I'm just going to have to give myself a little bit of a pass with that. I'm sure other people make a few mistakes, but it seems like it's one after another with me. Hopefully I can concentrate enough. I have been quite busy at work, and I am a quite busy person, so, and the times that I get to sew is like in the evenings maybe sometimes, and at weekends when I probably need some rest as well. I'm not giving myself enough time to rest, so, but I hope that's useful anyway in me sharing my little mistakes with you. Don't want to pretend that it's all perfect. Anyway, now we can go back to where I'm up to on Friday. Let me show what I'm wearing today. It's the Blackwood cardigan by Helen's Closet, and it's in Cozy Colours material, which has like a little fleck of different colours in it, and I absolutely love my Cozy Colours cardigans, and I've got some jumpers, a South Bank sweater. Yeah, they've all washed and worn really nicely. The inside of it's so nice and soft. It's fleeced back. It's a material that I definitely recommend. Yeah, the Blackwood cardigan doesn't have any buttons on or anything. It doesn't quite close. It's just supposed to be an open cardigan. No, it's not drop sleeves, but it's just got a band around the neckline, and I've top stitched that down, and it's quite a deep band on the bottom of the pattern. So that's my Helen's Blackwood cardigan, and this is the Deer and Doe plantain tee. Again, I'm wearing another one. This is the one that I wasn't too happy with how the neckline went in, but I still wear it. I still really like it. I really like the material actually. So I wasn't actually working on the Wednesday, but after I'd finished filming, as you might be able to tell, I'm just really tired that day, and I just was not concentrating on what I was doing. So you know what I did? I thought I'm going to take myself off to bed with a nice hot drink and just have a rest and relax. And I think it did me the world of good actually. So today I've got a day off. Normally I'm working in the office on a Friday, so it's been lovely to wake up this morning and just come straight into my sewing room. So last night I cut out the pattern pieces, and I cut it out of the duvet cover that I showed you on Wednesday. And as I said, I cut it out of the white. Well, it's not actually white, I think it's just a slight off-white. It's quite freeing to do it in this duvet cover that, you know, it's not precious to me at all. I was pleased with how my button band went in. I think that's what you call it. It's got a little tuck in there, which I think is a really nice little detail. That's the side that goes on the top, I assume. I think so. I was quite pleased with how neat my top stitching was on that. I did the burrito method for the yoke, so it's all nicely finished on the inside and on the outside, and that's my little pleat at the centre back, and I'm pleased with how that's turned out. And I'm French seaming it inside as well, so just to keep it nice and neat. This is still work in progress. As you can see, I've not got the collar on. But I have done both of the plackets for the sleeve, and it's not 100% perfect, but I'm very happy with how they've turned out. You'll have to excuse the markings on this. I wanted to have clear markings on it. Now, this pen is one that will wash out. Before I wear it, I'm obviously going to wash it, so you won't be able to see these markings, but it's just helped me get a nice neat sew on it. The only thing was, I was having a little bit of a problem sewing down this placket to here and then across and then down, and then you sew that way and then that way. So my machine was skipping stitches, and if you watched my vlog about the dressmaker's ball, I mentioned in that one as well that I had some problems with my machine not sewing properly, and I switched machines. Now, I don't know if it's my settings or something. I thought it might be my needle, and the change of the needle did work better. But I've decided that when my husband gets home and I have the car, I'm going to take my machine today. It's a computerised machine, a Janome. Take it to the Janome, I think it's the headquarters, which is in Stockport, which is which is where I live basically. And that's one of the reasons why I chose a Janome actually, because they've got a Janome office near in my hometown. So yeah, I'm going to take my machine to be serviced for the very first time. Now, I've had this machine for 2 years, I think. So, and I've not had it serviced yet. So it's probably well overdue for a service, but as you'll know, with a computerised machine, it's going to be expensive to get it serviced. So I'm just working on my basic machine, and since I've switched to my basic machine, I have actually found it a little more tricky just to get neat lines. With my computerised machine, I can change where the needle position, but on this one, I can't change the needle position, so sometimes it's harder to line up exactly where I want it. But, I mean, I'm quite impressed with this is my cuff. Quite impressed with that. Not too bad on where it meets there. And yeah, and that side, and now all it needs on is a buttonhole and a button, which is easier said than done. So I've done both sleeves, and I'll just pop it on to show you how it looks on me. Now I've made quite a few Helen's Closet patterns before, and I've tended to be a size 14. Actually, when I looked at the 14, which I should have done before I cut it out, I know, it is actually a couple of inches bigger than my measurements. So I'm expecting this to be a little bit oversized, which is fine. It's a shirt, I don't mind that. So bear that in mind as I just try this on for you. And as you can see, it's quite a relaxed fit. I don't know whether the cuffs are a little bit too long for me, for my personal taste. I think when I've done them up, it might be okay, but it kind of feels like I'm wearing my dad's shirt just because of how long the arms are. I think if I make it again, I'm just going to shorten the arms slightly. I did add some length on, as I think I mentioned that in my previous vlog. and it's not hemmed yet, so but it's got this nice curved hem which hopefully I'll be able to get neat, but it kind of comes down to, at the moment it's like past my hip area. Now if you wanted a more fitted style, I think I could, you know, take quite a bit out of the sides, but I'm quite happy with how it's sitting on my shoulders. If you can see there, there's the shoulder seam. I think that's pretty much, I'm pretty happy with that. So that's the progress I've made so far on my SewUpcycle22 project, and I'm pretty pleased with how it's going so far. This is just really a chance for me to practice the techniques, see what the fit's like and everything. So but hopefully I'll have a nice wearable garment at the end of it. I'm just hoping that the collar goes in okay. So I will update you on that next week, and obviously I'll put some photos in next week of me wearing the shirt. I've not made any progress on my husband's shirt. I've not cut that out yet. I think I might give myself a break from making shirts next, when I move on to my next project. I did consider cutting them out at the same time and having 2 projects on the go at once. Now the fortunate thing is my husband is not going to want this long sleeve with the placket. He's just going to want short sleeves, so that is much easier I think to do. I mean, I tried it the other week actually with cutting 2 projects out at once, but in fact I ended up doing one project completely and then starting on the other. So I just think that that suits me and how I work. Is I like to have one project to focus on, finish, clean my sewing room. I mean, if you could see the state of my sewing room, it's an absolute tip. Yeah, I like to have a clean room to start a new project, and things get very messy in here when I'm actually doing this, during the sewing process. I'm sure lots of people can relate to that. You know, there's everything all over the floor. I mean, fortunately I've not got any pets, so because there's pins everywhere, it's probably a health and safety hazard in this room at the moment. So it has been nice chatting to you, and thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye!